Michael O'Leary is behind one of the greatest Irish success stories of all time. In 15 short years, the chief executive of Ryanair turned a small, struggling regional carrier into the biggest discount airline in Europe, carrying 50 million passengers and sales of $3.2 billion in 2007.
Michael has been an unquestioned leader in Europe of a most maverick kind.
But he has changed the game, he has led the low-cost revolution, and he's certainly grown the market significantly.
In 1985, Ryanair was founded by the late Irish entrepreneur Tony Ryan. But shortly after the carrier took to the skies, it went into a financial freefall, and the little-known businessman was brought in to turn it around. And he did it in record time by cutting costs, cutting corners, and cutting through the red tape.
Michael, did you ever believe you would actually be chief executive of Europe's most profitable carrier?
No, never believed I'd work for the airline in the airline industry either. But you know, you work hard and good things happen to you eventually.
Is that what it's all down to?
I presume so. I mean, most people who do well, it's generally a byproduct of about 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. In my case, probably less inspiration and even more perspiration.
Where are we going now with Ryanair? I mean, where are we? What are we talking about this winter? What's capacity like? What are capacity constraints like? What next?
In the short term, continued capacity growth. Like we take delivery of another 13 new aircraft from Boeing this winter, up to about the end of May next year. We'll see the capacity next year. This year, in the year ended March 2008, we'll carry 50 million passengers. We expect that to grow to about 60 million in the coming 12 months. So continued growth, opening more bases, more routes, carrying more passengers, and offering real competition and choice to the high-fare fuel surchargers all over Europe.
On to rest on his laurels, O'Leary is still manoeuvring to get ahead. Going into 2008, he served notice that Ryanair was beginning flights from Birmingham, Edinburgh and Manchester to continental Europe, boosting competition with EasyJet, his biggest rival. The airline's also adding 50 new routes this year, its largest ever new route expansion.
We're expanding rapidly in Eastern Europe. I think you will see us in the next week or two announce our first routes into Romania, which will be a new country for us. And I would be disappointed if next year you don't see our first base in, whether you call it Eastern Europe or the Central European economies. I think you'll see the first Ryanair base being announced probably in the middle of 2008.
And probably where?
Hard to know at the moment. I mean, we're talking to, there's 7 airports between Poland, Slovakia, the Czech Republic, and I suspect one of those, more likely a Polish airport at this point in time, but the negotiations are still continuing, so that could change.
Is this where the growth is going to come from, as we see perhaps the European economy slowed down?
No, I mean, we're still confident that the growth is going to come from the Western European, the big growth will come from the Western European countries. As you know, if you want to follow Ryanair's growth, you follow where the bases are, not where the destination airports are. And as you can see this winter, 4 new bases, 2 of them in the UK, 2 of them in Spain. I would expect a similar profile next year. Say if we open 4 bases next year, I'd be surprised if 3 of the 4 aren't in Western Europe.